Okay, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 32 for September 24th, 2023. So far, good variety of videos. I don't know what else we're going to see in the second half here, but definitely, it's been interesting, to say the least, all right? Let's now continue and see what the standard members have submitted. Remember, this is random order, so hey, luck of the draw. Let's see what's next.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
There you go.
In the distance.
So it's, oh, cute bunny. I remember, like, I didn't see that one. That was from Impact Wrestling or TNA Wrestling from, like, the mid-2000s. And that was Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, who was known for basically being, swollen a bit. You know what I mean by that? You know, like, he's probably a little bit of a juicer. And he wasn't necessarily the smartest guy, but he was entertaining for various reasons. And I think this was purposefully done in a way, like, he knew what he was saying was ridiculous. He didn't believe that. That was a promo he did to hype up a match, and he knew that being silly would be notable. So I think he did it in a way that was funny, right? And so they did it, and it became, like, virally popular on the internet at the time. I remember that promo. Because obviously the numbers are bullshit. You know, he made it up on the fly. Lady Christmas says he actually wanted to redo it a second time, and they wouldn't let him redo it. They made him stick with the first take. That's funny. All right. In the meantime, let's continue.
There's this bright white ball in the middle of the road.
Oh my goodness.
As it hopped closer and closer, I could definitely tell this was not a wild rabbit. It was a pet that someone
That's a
probably
domestic
dumped
rabbit,
outside.
you can tell.
It was raining and extremely cold. I did pick him up.
White rabbits, if I remember correctly, are not wild. Wild rabbits are brown. So I don't believe that there are any white albino rabbits. Those are all domesticated rabbits. If you've ever seen one, it means it's a domesticated rabbit.
Wrapped him up warm. I had to give him a little wipe down just to help him warm up. He was definitely nervous at first, but as soon as I gave him something to eat, he did warm up to us a little bit more.
A cute bunny.
He became a lot less fearful as I wrapped him up to help him settle in.
How cute.
It wasn't long until I realised how special he genuinely was to me. Me and him had quite a special bond and became completely obsessed with each other. Months later, we couldn't leave each other's side. Yo, stop taking off my duvet, man. Chill. He wakes up every single day next to me. Yo, he likes to take off the blankets in the morning. Do you do it one more time?
Because he wants him to get up.
And then he starts this crazy zooming around the room.
Yep. Zoomy, zoomy.
He demands the first breakfast of the day.
Oh, blueberry. Wow, you got all kinds of fruits. Yummy.
After he's satisfied, we head downstairs for our second breakfast.
Second breakfast? What are they, hobbits?
We start off the day with some redecorating.
You probably should let him eat the wallpaper.
This guy. I pay him with kisses.
Oh my
And he
god.
does the same too.
Licks him back.
Next, we catch some sun outside.
That's when he wants to eat the grass. You gotta get him out to the graze.
Mr. Perry definitely demands we lay down for our midday nap. He makes sure I'm thoroughly groomed afterwards.
Oh my god.
Wait. Ease up. Now it's time for our homeschooling. Have the nugget here, don't eat it. I'm gonna put it here, don't eat it, okay? His next class is always philosophy. You know what's going on? You're a rabbit, I'm a human, this is a room, you're in a house, it's Monday.
I'm sure he
know
knows what you're saying.
What's going on? Or do you like just live? Good talk. We have paused the school day for some very important announcements from Mr. Piri. Yo, after dinner, I do try to get him out of bed before I go to sleep. I know you can hear me. Don't act like you're sleeping.
No.
Trying to sleep, man. I know you ain't sleeping. I can see you. But he usually ends up staying the night. I just feel so lucky that he chose me to be his little buddy.
How does Jasper wake me up? It all depends on the day, and it depends on what he feels like doing. Sometimes he'll snuggle either me or Cat in bed. Like, we'll be sleeping, and all of a sudden you'll wake up and he's right here. He's like on your arm, laying next to it, sometimes snuggling. There's times when he wants to get up and wants to get out of the room right away, and then he'll start walking around you, like all over you. And yes, he licks my face and all that stuff. So there you go. Okay, what's next?
So, my last girlfriend left me because she said I'm immature. So I wrote this song for her. So I got this girl in the Sept in it arena, getting ready to put my pokey flute in between her. First I take it slow, bro, you know, play it tentacool. When I polywag my weedle, oh how it makes it drool.
Okay, on to the next video. What is this? Fighting games?
Pausing
Evo
in
2008.
casual video games is important. You never know what's going on while someone is playing, and there could be a laundry list of reasons as to why they might need to take a sudden break. And this is no different in fighting games. Even more so, in fact, as this is where players will find important features such as the command list, options, and more. The problem here is that when we're talking about fighting game tournaments, pausing is explicitly
Mortal Kombat.
not
This is Mortal
allowed.
Kombat 10, I
As a
think.
competitor, going outside of the match itself to interrupt the set in the middle of a round is against the rules and typically results in disqualification or a round forfeit. Contrary to how this sounds, tournament matches being suddenly interrupted by pauses is all too frequent of a problem, and as you might guess, can cause some disastrous moments, as there is never a good time to have a high level or high stakes competitive match be suddenly paused out of nowhere. It's bad for the players, bad for the viewers, the commentators, the organizers. Okay, it sucks for everyone, but it does.
That's why on most joysticks now, they actually have the switch that disables your start button. It's right there, lock and unlock. So if you're playing in tournament, you put it on lock. Now you can't accidentally pause the game, and it's just, you'd avoid that whole situation. But this wasn't prominent until, recently. Most tournament level controllers didn't even have that feature, so you could accidentally hit the pause button and screw the whole event up. Yeah.
Make for some memorable moments. Just maybe sometimes not for the right reasons. We are Ketchup and Mustard, and we're going to highlight 5
Ketchup and
instances
Mustard?
where a
That's the name of
sudden
the channel?
unintentional pause caused complete chaos in tournament. If you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on our uploads and various
I don't.
fighting game related,
I really don't. Okay.
there's a lot to be said about the topic of matches being interrupted by the kinds of things in this video in general, but the example you're about to see is maybe the most common. This match was Killer Shinnok vs Samij in Mortal Kombat X at Kumite in Tennessee 2017. Both players were on the top of their game, doing well in the event, and this was a match that everyone was super excited to see. The format was first to 3, and Samij was up 2 games to 0. Things weren't looking good for Killer Shinnok, but he would go up a round in game 3, and then confirm a hit to take the momentum. And then...
Alright, size on it. Trying to keep the space right where he wants it.
Oh!
And that is at the fault of the players, but luckily they're going to get right through it.
He
was in the middle of the tournament.
Controllers.
Yes.
Okay, looking good.
And tried something there. Maybe
Oh,
that's what he tried.
no.
And this is now the second time. This is the fault of the players.
It's the
I am
fault of
going
the
to blow
players.
them up.
It is the
And they're-
fault of the players.
Whoa! Putting the PS4 in the rest mode. Wow.
Someone did that on purpose.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
hilarious. Someone just did that on purpose.
Wow.
Wow.
This is what I mean when I say that this was common. This right here. Players using wireless controllers on a station, the following players not desyncing them, and then the previous player tries playing on a different machine and boom, they've interrupted a match. The worst thing about this though, is not only did we see the interrupt happen once, it then happened again. And then they literally turned the console off. I still to this day don't think anyone knows who did it, and I'm pretty sure it was an accident. The match was promptly restarted with the round up to Killer Shinnok, and Samij would eventually take the set 3-1. But if there's ever an example of getting in the habit of disabling previous wireless devices before you sit down to play on stream, let this be it.
Yeah, this has been a major problem in tournaments because now everything went wireless. I mean, people say, Phil, why do you still play on joystick, right? Well, it's a wired connection at least. You know, with these tournaments with wireless controllers, that kind of shit can happen. Your controller's still synced, and next thing you know, you go to use it on another console. Oops, it's synced on the console over there. It's being used for tournament, and you fuck up their tournament match. I mean, it's just a whole new generation of issues that happened when things went to console and then went purely to wireless. Yeah, pretty bad.
Number 4, Southeast Asia Major 2019, Fenriti vs Noble. Next up is a bit of BB Tag, which funnily enough is actually the first time we've covered this
BB Tag, Blaze Blue? I don't know anything about this game. Blaze Blue Tag?
series in any way on this channel, but I do wish it were for a more positive reason, as this is a classic example of how a good old-fashioned pause button can be a huge problem at the worst time. This was grand finals between Fenrich and Noble. Two strong players to be sure, but Fenrich in particular was coming into this after a hard-earned win in Dragon Ball FighterZ at the same tournament, which is where many of the more modern FGC crowd will recognize him from. And he was looking confidently poised to take his second first place at the same event. Not only was this grand finals, but it was also part of the ArcSys World Tour, which is the Arc System Works World Tour. Basically the world championship for fighting games made by ArcSys. Previously seen with BlazBlue Central Fiction, and even in 2022 will be featuring Guilty Gear Strive and DNF Duel. It's a big deal, and definitely something you'll feel close to when you're sitting in a grand final for one of its events. Noble would find himself down 2 games, but was relatively even in the third. That was until, well, this happened.
Stay for this, you can't just end it in 45 seconds.
It's gonna go to fucking...
Got this sniper.
Oh, no!
Oh, it was the division with the pad players, the pad player. One of the pad players got him. Noble's freaking out. Cut the feed, cut the feed.
The match was paused, and suddenly confusion everywhere to be seen. Neither players or commentators knew what caused it. But after a few minutes of talk with the admins, it was discovered that unfortunately it was Noble who accidentally hit the pause button on the face of his stick. And as specifically stated in the rules, the match had to be given to his opponent. And thus, Fenrich would win 3-0 and would end the tournament right there. Credit where it's due though, as Fenrich was winning.
That's awful. In that tournament, they weren't allowed to choose to continue. It was a pure forfeit. Oh, that's terrible shit, dude.
You don't press pause.
Number 3, Nightmare SF vs Godspeed, EVO 2030.
Justice.
Perhaps a lesser known example here, but one that deserves its spot in the list completely.
Original
due to the position in the bracket it was, and what it means to most fighting game competitors. Let's go back to EVO 2013. Just shy of 10 years ago saw the debut year of Injustice Gods Among Us, the newest franchise by NetherRealm Studios and their follow-up game to the hugely successful MK9. This was an all-new fighting game that saw one of the largest mixed bags of players from all sorts of other fighting games at this very EVO. EVO wasn't too long after the game came out, and typically experienced fighting game players learn new games very quickly. So all eyes were on this tournament to see who would make the ever-idolized top 8 spot in this breakout year. Now fast forward to the top 16, where we see Godspeed, who you may know from the MKX Pro League commentary desk in future years, versus Nightmare SF. Nightmare SF was definitely an unfamiliar face to the offline community at this time and was a prominent Batman player in the world of ranked matches. Always seen playing and usually high on the leaderboards in terms of overall matches played. This was a definite example of an online warrior taking a step into the world of offline. Unfortunately with it...
By the way, this will be the last one. Actually, you know what? Hold on. What are the other ones? Ultra Street Fighter 4, Gamerbee versus Momochi, EVO 2015. And then there's Tekken. All right, let's... I mean, people are getting bored. I like it because I'm a fighting game guy, but you guys are bored. All right, we'll continue. Sorry. I got
Welcome to Popeyes. How can I help you, sir?
Can I get a 3-piece with fries and mashed potatoes and with gravy on the side?
Yes, sir. Spicy.
Yes, sir. Move here. What do you want? What do you want?
I just want a 3-piece with fries.
God damn, spicy them all.
Spicy.
Here. Damn, go on. Shit.
This is not even my order.
It don't matter. Get out of here.
At least get some sauce.
We don't have no more sauce. Shit.
It's right there though.
It's not for you. Get your bitch ass up out of here. I'm not playing.
How Popeye is trading their employees.
What is you doing? You need to come on. Man, this ain't no 5-star restaurant. This is Popeye. Pick it up with your hand. Man, what are you cut. Over here using tongues and shit. Get out of here, you cut. Here.
Okay. Next. Is the first Grand Theft Auto worth playing? Square-Eyed Jack. The first one is top down. It's completely different. Completely different.
Any questions? No, that's no problem. If anybody gets in the way, you know what to do.
Why are they showing non-GTA 1? Go to GTA 1. Literally, show the real game.
So today,
Yeah.
I'd finally like to find out.
Because I played this on
is
PC back
classic
in the
Grand
90s.
Theft Auto still worth playing today? The only way we're going to find out is to dive in and get some answers. Just to quickly get some of the history out of the way, Rockstar North, formerly DMA Design, were working on Race and Chase, a top-down police...
Okay, I don't care about Race and Chase. I want to see the game. Thanks.
Yet somehow DMA spun this into a net positive for a successful launch on DOS and PlayStation 1 in late 1997
Yeah, I was going to say it was the late 90s. I had
Europe,
this.
and a second quarter...
So here's... This is going to sound silly. So I had a few PC games in the late 90s, and the way it worked is it would boot the game, but if it had music on the disc, then it would later on boot the music. So what you could do is boot the game, eject the game disc, put in a music CD, and then reboot it, and it would play the music off the CD instead of the soundtrack. So I would actually play, like, various CDs. I would just try them and pop them into certain games. This is one of the games I would do that, and I would just listen to totally different music when playing the game.
Release for the United States. And here it is. This is the very first Grand Theft Auto, the PlayStation 1 version anyway. Now they say don't judge a game by its cover, but before we begin, let's quickly open this up and just marvel at the gorgeous presentation. The game comes with not one, but two foldouts to pick.
Even the
three
original
cities
came
in
with the
game.
maps. That's
Liberty
interesting.
City, San Andreas, and Vice City. It's absolutely fascinating how some 25 years later, the Grand Theft Auto universe as we know it still revolves around these three cities. It's pretty crazy. You wouldn't think that they would have had all that figured out back in the first game. But not only that, the game also comes with a fold-out poster. So, as a kid, you're like, hot damn, this is going to be an incredible game.
Except that it's for 18 plus, so as a kid, you shouldn't have been playing this fucking game because there's gore is like crazy. You could drive down the street and kill like an entire line of monks, and they would give you bonus points for doing it. They called it like vehicular monkicide or something like that. It was crazy.
Almost unrecognizable at face value. Early GTA is built like an arcade title with a scoring system integrated with progression.
That's right, it's all about scoring.
Your first goal
It really
is to
is.
reach 1 million points, which sounds steep, but as you complete missions, you can unlock multiplier power-ups, which are also sparsely scattered across the map, along with additional lives, perks such as get out of jail free and a police bribe.
Man, I remember this so much now because I played it a lot on
chase.
PC. I
But we
liked
also
it. I
have
never
a
beat it
small
though. It's very difficult. It's like ridiculously difficult, this game. The original GTA 1. The bullets they do crazy damage, and you can't take cover. You have to like hide behind stuff, but it's so hard to take cover because it's top down. All right, it's really. I don't really care. I don't want to watch any more of that. What's the next one? Oh, a delicious LGR fruit sandwich.
White roll this is, but it looks great. Wow. Already quite crispy, but super soft on the inside. Start with a bit of romaine lettuce.
Wait a minute,
Some
it was
red
dirty.
wine
The
vinegar.
romaine had dirt on it. He didn't rinse it. Bad.
Angus roast beef.
That's good, but I prefer my roast beef red. It stays red if you leave it in like a package that stops sunlight from touching it. It'll stay nice and red. That one's obviously it's been like has like a brown caramelization added to it.
Some hard salami. You use up the rest of this tomato.
It's not necessarily the knife you'd want to use to cut that, but okay.
sea salt, and cracked pepper.
Seasoning.
Nice Swiss cheese.
Why does he have a giant chunk? He doesn't have it like sliced. He cuts it himself. There you go.
And lastly, some of this tapenade red pepper and artichoke. Been into this stuff lately. It's awesome.
Well, it could probably be good. Red pepper.
A little bit
and
goes a
artichoke.
long way. Ends up soaking into the bread.
The only problem is it's probably really dry. There's only moisture in the tomato and the artichoke.
Not bad at all.
That's probably pretty. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go with some roasted black garlic kettle chips.
Black garlic kettle chips? I've never had that.
Crap, I'm out of pickles. Oh well, no pickles, but this looks good. Not the prettiest sandwich I've ever made, but hopefully it's at least tasty.
It probably is.
That's a crunchier roll than I was anticipating, but that tapenade, man, that's what sets this off with the salami roast beef. It doesn't really need any other condiments like that as far as I'm concerned. And the vinegar, it's just sort of a tangy...
Oh, he put vinegar on it. He put red wine vinegar. Okay, then it's not dry. Okay, there you go. All right, one more video, then we'll split the part here.
Welcome to the wide world of web. I'm your host, Smithers O'Neill. And on today's episode, we're going to learn how to write internet comments. Let's take a look at an example, shall we? Right now we're on one of my favorite internet forums, where I've commented on this beautiful 3D art. I had lots to say about this one, and the people were riveted by my comment.
Nice.
And you can do it too. A good comment contains one or more of the following. Interesting knowledge. Details you enjoyed or did not enjoy. An emotional story.
An emotional story.
And a dash of humor. Or dare I say, two.
So guys, remember, when you're commenting on my videos and or chatting in my chat live, you must have one of those things. If you don't, you face severe moderation penalties, just so you know. You absolutely must have one of those 4 things he just mentioned.
Yes, my comment includes all of these examples, but for you, I'd focus on just one for now. Oh, looks like somebody already replied. Huh. Seems like Jeremiah here disagrees with my comment. In these situations, we need to respond calmly and dignified.
Here we go.
We can reply, A, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Ah.
B, please provide reasoning so I can understand
That'll
your
never happen.
C, you wouldn't know what art is even if it fucked you in the ass.
That's probably close.
Option C clearly has the best qualities of the 3.
Right.
Now Jeremiah will understand how much his opinion means to me.
Nice.
Jeremiah is really trying to devalue my opinion while making his sound superior. How should we proceed? A, ignore him. B, explain that there is no correlation between celibacy and artistic knowledge. C, find personal information to comment on.
Ooh.
Option C it is again.
Let's find it.
We can comment on a lot about Jeremiah just by going through his profile.
Oh, there you go.
Well. Look what we have here. We can see his appearance. An About Me section. And this cock-starved goblin girl he calls I'd rather be celibate until I die
Wow.
than have that inbred mongoloid.
Wow.
When commenting to prove a point, weaponizing
Oh my
personal
God.
information is essential to your dominance.
Oh my God, this continues for like 2 more minutes.
You've never talked to a girl in real. Okay. As you can see, Jeremiah here is desperately trying to paint me as a particular character. This calls for one thing and one thing only.
Oh no.
Proving Jeremiah is a sexual predator. But we don't need to exactly find that information.
Wow.
We can create it.
Ah. There you go.
After hours of hard work, I present to you the blog written by the student victims of art teacher Jeremiah
Wow.
Adler, aka Ask Grabber Adler.
Wow.
We've got plenty of stories about Jeremiah's predatory behavior.
Oh
all
my
very
God.
descriptive. And it even includes a section where they make fun
What
of
is
his
this
incredibly
from?
small...
Only 4 weeks ago. This reminds me of like the stuff they used to do on like Adult Swim at night. Some of the comedy programs they would have there. That it would seem like it was completely normal, and all of a sudden it would like go off the deep end with extreme nonsense. Yeah. Well, that was not bad. That's pretty, actually I found that one pretty funny. So, all right. Ladies and gents, I hope you're enjoying the show so far. I think this is a good frame to end on. Micro penis. Now, actually, we should probably play it. There we go. Reminds me of a baby carrot. There you go. That looks a little better. It's a good frame to end on. All right. Let's split the part here, shall we? We continue on. We still got an hour of DSP versus the internet. I can't stop smiling. It's funny. We still have an hour of DSP versus the internet for the rest of the week's show. And we will continue shortly in the next part. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. All right.